the U.S., my goodness, the U.S. has just dropped the BOMB on Iran. Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? Welcome back to the channel. The name of the channel is Be Limitless, and I just decided to hop on really quickly here today because upon waking up, oops, sorry about that, y'all. Upon waking up, I am just seeing here that the U.S., my goodness, the U.S. has just dropped the BOMB on Iran, okay? So I was like, you know what, let me just hop on here really quickly and then just let you guys know. Let me read this to you really quickly. Hopefully my camera won't die because my phone is clearly on 20-something% even though it's plugged up. So I gotta check that out. But anyway, I wanted to just share this information with you all if you're listening to this channel or whatever, because I know that many people are not necessarily following what's going on in this world today. If you are in the U.S. does a pretty great job at keeping you in a certain bubble, okay? The media will make sure that you know what they want you to know, okay? So, I just wanted to give this information because one thing I realized is that, just being in the U.S., you can become so desensitized to certain information. You can tell somebody, hey, the U.S. just bombed Iran, and they will say, oh, really? Oh, okay. Oh, and go back to eating their cereal. Like, it's like we have to wake up and realize what is going on. And the reason why people ignore this information is because they do not have knowledge of what scripture says. They do not have knowledge of the end times, okay? They do not understand prophecy. You know what I'm saying? This is not something to be ignored. We've been, and I think the reason why we ignore a lot of things is because I know growing up, we always been in the last days. You know what I'm saying? It's always like we living in the last days, when things happen and stuff of that nature. So you just grow up like, oh, we living in the last days, right? It's almost like we say it so much and people don't understand what it really means to be in the last days to where it's just a thing. We live in the last days, okay? You know what I'm saying? God, whatever, I don't know. But anyway, the whole point is I wanted to read this article to you really quickly, okay? Hold on. I want to read this article to y'all. And I got this from from news.un.org, United Nations. And I just because I was just looking up for articles about, what just happened and everything. There's a lot of videos that's out now, so you can, kind of search around for those things. But I was like, I just found this article and I was just reading it. So I just wanted to read it to you. So the headline says, UN chief gravely alarmed by U.S. bombing of Iranian nuclear sites, okay? So here it is. It says, I am gravely alarmed by the use of force by United States against Iran today, said the UN chief, reiterating that there is no military solution. This is a dangerous escalation in a region already on the edge and a direct threat to international peace and security. President Donald Trump delivered a televised address to the nations from the White House at 10 p.m. local time and said that Iran's nuclear facilities at Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan had been totally obliterated, describing the long-range bombing raid as a spectacular military success. President Trump called on Iran's leadership to now make peace and return to negotiations over its nuclear program or suffer a far greater wave of attacks. Iranian authorities have yet to confirm the extent of the damage to the 3 sites in central Iran. Earlier in the day, Iran's foreign minister reportedly warned the U.S. against any involvement in the Iran-Israel conflict, which erupted on the 13th of June. Okay, so that was just a little bit of it. I'm pretty sure if you look around, obviously you're going to see it. Probably as you all wake up in the U.S., it's actually early morning there now. So right now it is, I don't know, maybe a little after 9 here where I am, 9 a.m. But you guys will see this when you wake up. Anyway, so I just wanted to read that, but I also wanted to read the scripture really quickly, which is a scripture that if you read your Bible, you do know, or you may even have heard because people do reference it a lot. But however, this is what I'm saying. This is not to be ignored. This is not to be just thrown away, okay? It is Matthew 24:6, okay? So Matthew 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because the transgression of the Torah shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. So, and I stopped at verse 13. So this is just to let you know that these things are going to be happening in our world, and it is the beginning of sorrows, okay? So I say all this to say, don't just ignore the things that are happening around you and in this world globally, and of course, locally or whatever, or in your own nation. Don't ignore these things because these things are being prophesied. This is how you know the timeline of some of the things that are going to be coming. Don't look at what's happening as a doom and gloom, although it is. If you are living your life according to the scripture and according to how you're supposed to live it, you're going to understand that these things are going to come, but your job is to make sure that you are protected and in the right place, okay? In the right place mentally, spiritually, even geographically, being in the right place, okay? But this is just to let you know that you have to know your word so that you can understand what is happening in the world around you, okay? So, so that was just a quick hop on. I didn't really have anything in depth or anything like that, but I did just want to say that because, like I said, when I woke up, and I think many of us has probably been hearing about, what's been going on. But when it says wars and rumors of wars, there's no rumors of wars anymore. There are wars, okay? Back to back, there are wars, okay? That's not a little thing. That's not a light thing. Like, so much is going on that obviously is not going to be upplayed in the media, right? Because everybody watching the Diddy freaking trial. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all watching that. Like, don't nobody care about that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a scapegoat. You know what I'm saying? Everything that he has done and what he's been doing, the whole entertainment industry, when those people start to fall, it's the distraction there because they've already set all those things up. Those people have already entered into deals with their souls. And, once that time comes when they start falling, then you know it's time for them to fall. It's time for them. Their contract is up. They've done what they needed to do. They've got the money, or either they have started getting out of line, and now you're gonna start hearing stuff. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, everything that's done in the dark is going to come to the light. So it's not to be it's not a surprise. Anyway, so that was it, guys. That's all I wanted to say to you. Yeah, with that being said, stay up on what is happening around this world. Be informed so that you can make informed decisions, okay? Those of you all who, still do not have, like, supplies, get your supplies. Get you cases of water. Like, don't wait until everybody's grabbing everything off the shelf to start stocking up on things that you may need. Why? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because who knows if, something is not going to happen around you in your area and you can't get out. Okay? And not only that, but simply because when things start happening, you already know that the prices are going to skyrocket. So get your stuff now, little by little, every paycheck or whatever you got to get your stuff now. Okay? So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. All right. I'll see you guys later. Remember, always what? Be limitless. Okay. All right. Don't limit yourselves. Don't limit yourselves. Okay. So talk to y'all soon. Remember,